Well, Joel was saying that there's not a whole lot of romance between the characters in the next bunch of episodes. But are we going to see... I mean, I feel like Annie kind of sees the world that way no matter what. So are we seeing...
You mean romantically, that Annie sees the world?
Well, with rose-colored glasses a lot of times. So
she does. You know, in the second half of the season, it's not so much romantic for Annie. It's more friendship-based. And I also think she kind of returns to her initial values, her core values of school and her education and that sort of thing, which is kind of a good thing, I think, for Annie to kind of reel it in. Not be such a slut all the time. No. But she does. She gets more kind of focused on school and her friends. There's a great episode with Annie and Abed that takes place entirely in the Dreamatorium. And I think it's going to be really awesome, but I'm not sure. I have yet to see it. It's so out there. But it might be my favorite episode of the season. It was so fun to shoot with Danny. But it's a great episode where you're looking at these two characters kind of reevaluating why they're friends and why they love each other as friends and roommates and that sort of thing. And how they actually have a lot of similarities, and maybe that's why they butt heads on certain issues and just kind of gaining a deeper understanding of one another. So,
what does it look like inside the Dreamatorium? Because in the return episode, we don't see it. We just see them come out. So,
it's true. Well, haven't you caught glimpses?
Yes, but I mean,
you've been in the Dreamatorium
these days,
with the kind of black walls and orange tape.
It's not any different. I mean, there's not like extra props in there these days.
Well, the Dreamatorium can be whatever you want it to be.
So that's what I'm asking. What is it for Annie?
It takes on many different forms. Can't really say specifically.
Okay. I'm picturing a giant Zac Efron, like your poster, like a poster in a room.
Poor Annie just will never get rid of that Zac Efron poster, will she? Charlie St. Cloud is just gonna like go to the grave with her. Yeah, well, that's a big twist. Actually, Zac Efron came on the show. We have him tied to a chair at the Dreamatorium.
There you go.
That's what's been in there the whole time. That's the secret. That's why the guys looked so... Oh, you haven't seen that episode yet. Never mind.
Do you have a favorite scene that you've done, and what episode was in it, and why is it your favorite?
That whole episode was my favorite. It was fun to play with Danny, and because we were in the Dreamatorium, we did get to sort of... Uh-oh.
Just going to do it on this one. You can keep talking.
Because the episode takes place in the Dreamatorium, we do get to kind of take on different roles. So I guess you could say wear different hats. Just sort of almost like we're being different people. And so this one's probably my favorite. Also, the Law and Order episode is a really great one because Jeff and Annie get to kind of team up and be lawyers together, and it was fun to play that drama on the set of Community. Yeah.
Can you talk about the transition from the hiatus happens, you're coming back, but so I assume over the past 2 months you've been wnindated with that fan screams and hollering or whatever. So it's does it change your opinion of the show in a way, or and how does it feel just coming back airing again?
In terms of it changing my opinion of the show, I mean, we've always had such a great love for the show, and the show is our baby. It's everybody's baby. But seeing the fan reaction, I guess, and just this outpour of love and support and outrage that the show wasn't going to be on the air, it made us feel, I think, like the show was the most important thing that's ever been on television ever. It was kind of this amazing thing that happened with the hiatus, where you would expect for it to be a time where you'd feel really down and question this show that you're doing, oh God. Instead, it was totally the opposite. What we're doing here is the most incredible thing ever. People love it. It was so nice to have that support, and really kept us going. And now that the show's coming back on the air, we're all just ecstatic and I think feel, I don't know, it's just such a good feeling. And it's so nice for the fans to feel like the fans are getting to have the show back, because they're the ones that have been fighting for it to come back, and it kind of feels like, here, we've been working on all these great episodes for you guys. It's so nice to finally share it. I think that we've always had a strong relationship with the fans through Twitter and stuff like that, and usually it's great because it's while the show is airing, so fans are seeing the episodes and we're getting immediate feedback about how they're feeling about those episodes, and then we're working other stuff in that they say they want to see and stuff like that. And so we haven't had that interaction, and that's been a bit of a bummer, but it's also going to be kind of great that we have so much now to show them, you know?
Is there anything, I mean, I know you guys have the webisodes and...
Yes, there's some animated webisodes. I think they're called Abed's Key.
Yeah.
Master Key.
Yeah.
I kept forgetting. I was like, Abed's Key.
Something.
Something's missing. That just sounds a little lame.
Well, I'm curious, are you guys going to do anything specific on Twitter to make sure people watch it live? Because I have put that at the end of every article I've written about Theater Day. Watch it live.
I mean, you can only just say it so many times, so that's what we're just going to keep saying it, I think. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the show. We're back on the air. They're definitely going to air these last 12 episodes, hopefully. Hopefully, no matter what. So, I mean, I hope people watch it live, but I don't know what there is to do people just don't, it's not what it used to be. Appointment television doesn't really exist these days with DVR and stuff like that. I'm not home a lot to watch home at 8 to watch that show, so it's hard to get people to do it.
Any chance of like a live tweeting?
Yeah, now that you say it.
Do it.
I might have to live tweet. Yeah. But how will I know if the people I'm tweeting with are actually watching the episode live?
Ask them questions, quiz them.
Exactly.
Trivia.
Online, Twitter, live Twitter quiz for the fans.
Well,
facilitated
with the
by
giveaway.
me.
All that stuff Neil's doing, he should be asking trivia questions.
He is.
Oh, well, then. Never mind.
Neil's not just giving away free stuff.
Wow.
He's
Do
asking
you have a favorite
questions.
high-profile fan of the show who's like spoken out in its favor? Because it seems like all these awesome people give a shit.
Oh, high profile. Oh, you mean like actual
Or,
high profile
like
people. I was like,
Spielberg
high
or
profile
something.
fans? Julietta, or was it Juju?
Yeah. The artist.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
We saw her at Paley. She gave us these great drawings that she had done. They're awesome. Our fans are so great. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, trying to think of some cool high-profile fans. It seems like, I don't know. It just seems like people you meet. It's always cool to have that kind of give and take of people and meet. Like, I don't know. I'm working on a film with Anna Kendrick, and I just met her, and she was like, "I'm such a fan. I love the show," and that's a cool thing because I'm such a fan of hers, and she's obviously so great at what she does. So that's a person. I mean, people like that, I guess.
What are your
It's
three
nice.
favorite TV shows and why?
Ooh, I love Children's Hospital because they're so irreverent and great and just funny. It's so my type of humor. I laugh constantly when I watch that, and I just feel like there's such an air of like, we don't give a fuck. We're just gonna do a bunch of weird, funny stuff. I love that show. 30 Rock is probably still one of my favorite shows. And similarly, it's just like joke after joke after joke. Joke. It's so funny. And it's meta in so many ways. I feel like you can draw some comparisons to Community and 30 Rock in some ways, not in tons of ways. What else? A third and final favorite show. Well, golly, I would have said, well, it was Bored to Death, but what were you gonna say? You're leading me.
Not Mad Men?
Oh, Mad Men. Yes. Well, I can't say shows I'm on. Why would I was like Community, Mad Men, NTSF, SD, SUV. I will only list shows I've worked on. Obviously, Mad Men is an amazing show.
Bored to Death because?
I love Bored to Death because I'm so sad that it's gone. All those guys are so charming. They're so charming. I just was constantly charmed by the show. And really, 2 words, Ted Danson. Amazing. God, he's incredible. I loved that show so much. All those boys are so great.
Were you familiar with Dan Harmon's work before you began, like with what he did with Channel 101 and everything? And did you know what you were getting into when you got onto his show?
No. I was not familiar with the Channel 101 stuff, and I didn't learn about it till probably halfway through the first season, and coincidentally is when things started to kind of get a little bit weirder on our show. I feel like we got through the first 6 episodes being a pretty straightforward show, although that's not totally true. By our 2nd episode, I was like suddenly Pocahontas, like in a gag, like crying, with Joel's butt in my face. So to answer your question, no, I learned about that later as we were shooting the show, and then I kind of went back and watched some of the videos, and it helped us to have a greater understanding of Dan and everything he was capable of. And
it seems like it's really important that that you guys are friends, and you have these really touching moments, like when you're watching that puppet show. I mean, it's adorable.
Thank you.
I mean, is that kind of the mood on set as well?
Absolutely. I think the heart has always been a big part of our show. The characters connecting on that deeper level, and it not just being about joke, and even though our writers are incredible and the comedy is there, and on set it's the same. We're so close, and that's, if the show were to go away and not come back, I just think that that's the greatest gift that I've gotten from the show, is some of the best friends of my life. And aside from the fact that we have so much fun together on set and are constantly joking and laughing and cracking each other up, these people have grown to be a great support system for me, and I hope that I do the same for them. But it's really these people that you come in and you check in with every day, and you tell every detail of your life to, and you're there weighing out some of the most important decisions of your life with these people, because you see them for so many hours every day, and yet we still want to spend time together when we're not on set. So it's incredible.
If the show was renewed for another season, what direction would you like?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I like to leave those decisions up to Dan Harmon and our incredible writers. I'm still pushing for an underwater episode, so I don't know why they haven't taken that into consideration. I look really good in a scuba suit, so I don't know. I think it would be great if the show got a 4th season, just to kind of wrap things up even more, and kind of to cap off their collegiate experience at Greendale. And I don't know. I'd love to see Annie continue living with Abed. I love playing with those boys. Not in that way, you guys.
So you mentioned a minute ago working with Anna in the film, and I just saw the trailer for 5-year engagement. So I'm wondering why you feel it's important at this point to jump back and forth between film and TV. Chevy Chase said that he advised you to start doing film, and I'm curious. I mean, I'm not assuming you took his advice and that's why you did it, but I'm curious from your standpoint.
Well, I've always loved film and wanted to work in film, and I just love working and creating new characters and trying different genres and trying different things. So for me, I just love to work, and I love movies. So I think that had always been a goal of mine, and Chevy's encouragement is definitely appreciated. But certainly that was kind of probably part of the master plan all along.
Okay. Will you be back on Mad Men the new season?
I will.
Can you tease anything?
I cannot.
Can I ask something though? The 2 characters you play are so, I mean, you've been told this a million times, but they're so different. My question is, what do you think is the best and worst thing that could happen to Annie, and the best and worst thing that could happen to Trudy?
Ooh, oh my God. Well, I mean, the worst thing that could happen to Annie would probably be, like, failing out of school. Like, that would be the worst thing. And the best thing would probably be marrying Jeff Winger. And the worst thing that could happen to Trudy, I mean, would be divorce, I think, because she takes such pride in her marriage and in everybody thinking that their marriage is perfect, that the most devastating thing, even if they didn't get divorced, I think the most devastating thing would just be for someone to see through the cracks into that life. And gosh, the best thing, I don't know. Her materialism knows no bounds. I think just keeping that life going, probably having, like, a few more kids and just perpetuating that life would probably be the best thing. Yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Is there a prop from the side of the community that you would want to take with you if you wouldn't have to worry about anyone getting upset about it?
Ooh, a prop that I would take. Gosh, there's this really cool, I don't remember what episode it was from. Well, look, I have a weird relationship with the props on our show because Danny and I always get in trouble for playing with them and breaking them. So I'm like, no, I obviously wouldn't take any of the props. I don't even touch them. I get scared. But my favorite one that we stole and played with for a day and then got in trouble for playing with was this mechanical cat's paw that I think was made from a real cat's paw. And it's looks just like a cat's paw, an arm, and then it has this weird cord, and so you could set it somewhere, and when you squeeze the end, it goes like that, and the little wrist flicks. It's a little morbid, but super fun to surprise people with.